up about these chapters. Your first year in network marketing, chapter 5 and 6. And this is by far some of the most exciting chapters that it really had a significant impact on my success. So you guys know my background, I got started in direct selling 30 years ago. Okay, 30 years ago, I was in high school at the time, a senior in high school. I was working at a go-kart track, making the least amount of money you're allowed to make legally. I was just hoping for minimum wage to go up. That was what I was hoping for. I'm like, maybe they'll change the rules and we'll get a pay raise, And then my phone rang, and it was my brother-in-law. And basically, actually, he hit me up on my beeper. Met with my mom for lunch, and she's like, Nick wants you to come to this meeting. Da 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 da. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll come. And I went to my first network marketing presentation, February 15th of 96, almost 30 years ago. And when I walked in that room and they told me about the big money that these guys were making, they told me what was possible for me. They said that they'll help me do it. I got started, had no idea what I was doing, was terrible at it my first 6 months. But when I read this book, Your First Year Network Marketing, everything changed for me. See, my mentors taught me the books to read. They taught me the disciplines. What they taught me was the changes that were required for me to be successful. And this was the book that really set forth in motion, a change in my life. So I always love sharing it with people. And chapter 5 is attacking the warm list warhead. Overcome the reluctance to offer a lifestyle, to offer lifestyle to your family and friends. Sometimes when people get started in this business, they have challenges. For me, it was not a challenge, right? I got started in network marketing, and my mentor said, make a list, made a list, didn't question them, didn't debate them, didn't discuss it. He said, show all these people the business. I said, done deal. I will not stop calling these people until they see the business. And when I read the book, Your First Year Network Marketing, my light bulb went on in my head. Okay. And I'm going to go over that today. But the attacking the warm market list warhead, you got to overcome that reluctance to offer a lifestyle to your family and friends. A warm list, what a warm list is a group of individuals from your present and past whom you know well enough that if you were to pick up the telephone and call them, they would recognize you once they heard your name, right? Or if you send a DM to somebody or whatever it is, it's somebody that you know. It might be people that you haven't talked to for 20 years, right? Whatever it might be. But your warm list is really your lifeblood of your business when you first get started. The direction of the 21st century is to build a warm market relationships as opposed to the philosophy of throwing mud on the wall and hoping some of it sticks. Some people just throw, you really want to build, obviously, relationships, relationship marketing. That's what we're all in. The larger you build your warm list, the more solidity you will have to establish your business. So your success in our business is going to be determined by your ability to be able to create that warm market list. It really is important. Okay. And some people, they don't even make a list. And it's like, for me, it's like, whenever I got started, I was like, you guys tell me what to do, I'm going to do it. Right. I don't know how to do this. So I want to learn how to do this. So when you tell me what to do, I'm just going to do it. So I made a list just like they told me. I love when I read this because Mark says something magical. He says, make sure new distributors are taught how to use triggering devices in order to help them recall at least 2,000 friends and acquaintances. 2,000. That's a magical list. Like, I mean, I know some of you right now, you're like, whoa, 2,000. I don't know 2,000 people. Whoa, that's crazy. When I read this chapter, I was like, how in the world am I going to come up with 2,000? And then I realized that the average 18-year-old knows 1,000 people on a first name basis. So I literally made a list of over 1,000 people. And I wasn't able to get 2,000 when I was 18. Now I have like 15,000 phone numbers in my phone. It's like, it's ridiculous how many people that you really know. But if you don't write their names down, you're not going to call them. You're not just going to magically reach out to these people or track them down. Some of my best recruits was like Champ. I call this dude, Boss Man. The guy at the gym, his name is Boss Man. I just saw him all the time. What's up, boss man? What's up, boss man? What's up, boss man? He ended up becoming one of my biggest leaders, right? So you never, I didn't even know his name. I just called him boss man. So I'm like, boss man from the gym, and boom, I recruited him. So you want to make sure that you have a huge list. That's all I can tell you guys, okay? Remember, not to yield to arguments and rationalize with new distributors in order to avoid approaching the warm market list. Some people have a reluctancy to call their warm market, and that's the biggest warhead. That's the warm list warhead. People are afraid to call their friends. They're afraid to call their family. And that's not everybody, but there is a percentage of people. And for me, it's like, I knew when I got started in Remon, okay, I knew 100% without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to become wealthy. Okay. I just knew it. I didn't have a question or debate. there was no like doubt in my mind, right? After doing this industry for the last 30 years, and every time I've done anything, it's always worked because of my mentor and what he taught me. I knew I was going to make it happen. So I was like, I have to call everybody and let them know about what I'm doing before they find out through somebody else. And then they get mad at me for not inviting them. You understand? I'd rather somebody be like, that I called them reluctant. I called them relentlessly. I'd rather be relentless than reluctant. Right? I like that. Relentless over reluctancy. Right? It's like I'm just relentless. Some of our top recruits, Christy Belliston, right, my wife and I literally flew to her house, her and Ryan's house when we got started. Didn't get started right away, right? It took her about 6 months, but we kept following up because I was taught following this book is how long do you follow up for? You follow up until they either sign up or die, right? I mean, it's like until you're at their funeral or they're signing up. You just keep following up, right? Because everybody's life changes every 6 months, which you guys all know because we talk about Mark talks about it in the book. But another one, Robert Nahn, right? Robert Nahn, who's got, who has the first director in Malaysia, the first director in Singapore on his team. That Winston's team that he brought in Jesse Ting hit director first in Singapore. Glenn's about to be the second director. He's going to hit this month. He'll be the second director in Singapore. They came through Robert Nahn and Jones' organization. And we went to his house on day one and he didn't do it. But my partner, Chris Kim, you guys got to realize he's like a pit bull. He will not stop following up. Like he will follow up. Kai Wynn, right? Another one of our top senior directors who's going to be a national director soon. Kai was a prospect that like straight up on October 31st on Halloween. I remember talking to him out front of my house. I was on my phone and he's like, dude, I'm not doing that deal. I'm doing it. But Chris was relentless and just, we got him in. So some of your top planners, some of your top people are going to be, they're not going to join right away, but you got to follow up. But if they're not on your list, you're not even going to call them. So you got to realize you got to put everybody on your list, right? If you let doubt stand in the way of your business, you're guaranteed to fail, right? But if you go forward and persevere, you will succeed. There's only two ways to fail in Remon. Number one is not to get started, and number two is to quit. And quitting doesn't necessarily mean that you stop doing. It means that you stop promoting Remon. It's that quitting is stop working. Like if you haven't signed anybody up in your organization personally in the last 3 months, you pretty much quit Remon. You've got to always be constantly recruiting. At some point, I'm going to quit Remon, but I'm going to quit when my income's over $1 million a month. All right. And I'm going to continue to keep getting paid because you're going to get paid for the life of your business. You're going to get paid forever through Remon. So if you're going to stop working the business, become wealthy first. Like that's the no brainer, right? Move past your comfort zone and offer everyone on your warm market list this opportunity, especially those you feel are already too successful to consider doing this business. A lot of our top distributors right now, the number one director in our organization this month, outside of obviously Chris and myself, the top director in open line volume this month is Mia, right? Everybody in Southern California knows Mia. Mia was an attorney for forever. Like she was an attorney, and now she's like the top producing director, right? So you just got to realize that people that are already successful, a lot of times they're the ones that are going to notice it. Jesse Ting, right? When Winston recruited Jesse Ting was already very successful. She ran a very successful, I think her and Glenn owned a bunch of companies, right? So you just got to realize you want to recruit successful people because they have the ability to recognize this opportunity because of how quality the products are. When people that are professionals see the quality of this product, like, man, that's a product that I could use my credibility to promote this product, right? That's what they always say. So professionals have the natural tendency to refuse to openly acknowledge their participation in network marketing, but this refusal can negatively impact their business because of their doubts and insecurities can be sensed by both prospects and distributors. Like if you're not completely all in on Remon, when you talk to people, they're going to sense that. There's nobody in the world that I won't try to recruit. Like there's not anybody that I'm like, oh God, I'm scared of that person. Like what are they going to do? They're just going to tell me no. And then they're going to be on my list that every 6 months I'm going to hit them up. I'm going to continue to keep on being persistent. So you just got to realize that when people get started, mainly for you all that are on the call today that are already very professional and very successful, you've got to be all in. Right. And if you're all in and you know you're going to succeed, you don't want to let people miss out on this. Like, I don't want people to look back and be like, damn, how come you never picked up your phone and called me? Like, how come you never reached out to me? Like, that's just not cool. Like, that's just not nice. Okay. So if you can let your associates, if you can't, like if you're in a job right now where you can't let your associates at work know about your involvement in network marketing, be sure during in-home presentations to show that you're proud and enthusiastic about the industry and your company. You've got to make sure that you're, if there's certain jobs, you can't recruit other employees there, right? But this is your reluctance to approach your warm market list because you've been in other email. This is another big warhead. If you're reluctant to approach your warm market because you've been in other MLMs and are already approached the same people in the past, you can easily be overcome by assuring your friends and family that you've done the research, the analysis, and you finally led you to the right company. You just got to realize that, like, I have an obligation. Like anybody that I've ever worked with, Julian Doan, right, who basically recruited Susan Manuello, who brought in Brianna, two of our top senior directors. Julian had worked with us before in the past, right? Julian had worked with us before in the past, and yeah, he made us, a six-figure income or whatever, but he didn't become a millionaire. I mean, at least he didn't make $1 million like a year with us. And when we called him, it's like I wasn't like, hey, we're gonna call, Chris and I were like, we have to call this dude. Like we owe it to people. Like if anybody that I know, I owe it to him to show it to him. I think I owe it to everybody I know to let them get a chance to be able to participate in this business. If they don't want to, I could really care less. It doesn't matter to me whether they want to become wealthy with me or not. But if they don't want to do it, I'm going to still follow up with them every 6 months until they get started, right? So never qualify your prospects. Okay. What does that mean? That's just to decide in advance that one person is too important to be approached or another person is inadequate to succeed. Okay, that's economic suicide. Like don't prejudge. The ones you think won't will and the ones you think will won't. Like if you prejudge, I can't even imagine what that would be like. Like you got to realize, like I was the guy that was on not that people when I got into network marketing was like, oh dude, this guy's you know what I mean, like. This guy, no one would, like most of you would have never recruited me, 17-year-old high school dropout loser. You know what I mean? Like that's not somebody that you'd be like, oh, we got to get this dude and he's going to crush it. But my brother-in-law just decided that he was like, I'm going to get wealthy with this and I'm going to feel ashamed if I don't at least give him the opportunity to be able to look at this, right? You don't want to be ashamed that you didn't share this with somebody, right? So whenever I made my list of people, when I first got started, 30 years ago, my mentor said, this is not you're gonna show all these people the business. And that's all that I did. I was so resilient about making sure that everybody saw it. Right? You got to be resilient if you want to be successful. Don't ever look at people. We have so many doctors in Remont. It's absolutely unbelievable. Everybody knows Dr. Rimka, obviously. Dr. Rimka is the most popular doctor in Remont. But you look at Dr. Marlisa Hurt, who's also a big time player. You look at also Dr. Jennifer Lynn. There's so many doctors. I don't even want to start saying names because I'll leave some out, but there's so many successful doctors in Remont that are team leaders and higher because these products are so good. So never think that somebody's too successful to be able to make more money. Successful people can recognize opportunity faster than people that are rubbing two pennies together, right? So talk to everybody. If your professional career has the potential conflict of interest that hampers you from recruiting, here's some things that you can do. So if you're in a company or you're in say your daytime job or your daytime corporation company that you work with, or your profession, you can't recruit people, prospect through lifestyling. That is by approaching people through the normal course of your life. Okay. Letting them know without mentioning your business, right? That you would like to get together with them when it's appropriate, right? That's one way to do it. Or sponsor someone who knows your business associates and can ethically approach them, right? So if you have people that you can't approach personally, you want to sponsor somebody and let them go after those people. Like when I got started in Remont, the last company that I built, I sold my business. So everybody that was over there, I couldn't talk to them for 2 years. I signed a whatever it's called, like a non, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Where you're not allowed to talk to people, right? Don't do that, a non-circumvent or whatever the heck it was called. Like I can't talk to nobody. So they told me I'm not going to talk to nobody over there. I'm not going to talk to nobody over there. But there was people that knew people over there, right? Somebody like my brother-in-law, he knew Tracy Zimmer, right? My wife's little brother, David, he knew Tracy Zimmer, right? Because, they'd all gone on vacations and trips together, right? So he went after her and was able to sponsor her into the business, right? Tracy's one of our top directors. I couldn't reach out to her, right? So, there's going to be times in your business where you're not allowed to talk to people. You understand? That's just the way that it goes. But if you sponsor somebody that can, you know what I mean? That's kind of a no-brainer. you may, and that's usually that most companies don't. I mean, but I mean, there are types of corp companies that where you're not allowed to talk to people about what other businesses or whatever. But you may want to consider prioritizing your lists by using a target marketing, okay, wherein you share your a personal background with certain groups from your warm or lukewarm market. So think about people that you know from your warm market or lukewarm market, okay, and basically you want to do target, you want to target those people. You want to target, like I like to, when I got started in Remount, I'm like, dude, who do I know with skin? Like that was the target. I'm like, who do I know with the face? You know what I mean? And it's crazy because like I'll look at people's skin all the time. I feel like a skin snob, right? I'll be looking at their skin going, oh damn, they need this product, dude. You know what I mean? I just like, I gotta talk to them. And you know, I literally told my buddy, another guy that you know that I worked with before my past, who was, you know, I think he probably made about 750,000 a year with me, was probably his biggest year. But I told him, I said, bro, I go, I just hit him up on like Monday, and I said, brother, give me your address, dude. I got to send you some of this stuff. I go, I know you've been, you know, stuck on stupid about not doing Remon with me, but bro, your wife deserves for you to be able to look good, dude. Like literally, you know, let me help you change your face, bro, at least. And I'm gonna get the products on them, and then boom, I'm gonna recruit them. I'm going after everybody, right? So always allow your new distributors the courtesy of talking to their closest friends and family without the presence of their sponsor on the line. A lot of times, like people want to be like, all right, just get them on the phone with me. It's like, dude, relax. Like if you're a sponsor somebody, you got to believe they have enough influence to get their people to come to their house to take a look at the business, right? Whenever you got people inviting out for a pop-up or inviting out for a product demo, you got to let them do it. Like you don't want to do it for them. You don't want to be that guy that is like, oh, you suck too bad, let me do it for you. Like you want to believe in your people, right? If you believe in your people, they're going to step up, right? They're going to succeed. People are going to rise to, you know, no one rises to low expectations, right? Three-way calling is the most effective after the presentation. And that's really like nowadays we do Zooms, right? So we'll do like a three-way Zoom all the time and not before, right? Not before the presentation. Once they've seen the Remon opportunity, then maybe get them on a Zoom with your upline to be able to help, you know, obviously knock them off the fence. Or, you know, you may prefer to have your prospect make a direct call to your upline associate, right? That might be another one that what Mark talks about is here. Let me just give you my, you know, the person I'm working with is showing me how to do it. They know 100% information. Let me give you their information so you can reach out, you know, or set up a group text, right? Use card filing system to track your prospects. That might seem old school because I know everybody's all technologically advanced, but I just like to write it all in a journal. Dude, I got a journal with everybody's names in it, and I just follow up with people. Like, it's like, boom. Call all the people on your prospect cards every 6 months until they either sign up or die. That was my favorite one. When I read that in the book, like 30 years ago, I literally was like dying laughing. You know what I mean? Like people always ask, how long should I follow up? And I'm like, oh my God, that's the best one until they sign up or die. Like, I mean, oh my God, that just made me die. I was laughing, but I was like, oh my God, that is so good, right? Another thing is begin with warm market is the best because approaching friends and relatives is much easier than approaching strangers. If you can't influence it, your friends and family, you're going to struggle influencing a stranger. You've got to talk to your family and friends and be relentless, not reluctant, right? Attitude is the most important. That this is so good. Attitude more important is more important than any ability in network marketing. Okay, attitude is more important than ability. It doesn't matter how good you are. Someone might be the most best sales guy in the world. Oh man, this guy can sell ice to an Eskimo. Stop, dude. How's his attitude? Your attitude is going to determine your altitude, not your aptitude, not your ability, not what you can do. It's your attitude. If you've got the attitude of gratitude and you just want to share this business with people, you're going to win. You've got to have that attitude where it's like, I owe it to you to show it to you. I've got to make sure you take a look at this so you at least know what you're saying no to. That's literally it. So during the recruiting efforts, think of yourself as an educator more than a salesperson. Until the presentation, your intent to stimulate curiosity of your prospect, not satisfy it. That is so, so valuable. Until the presentation, until they've sat down in your living room, right? Bang, 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 put the products on their skin, right? Right. And if they're out of market, and you know what I mean, until you've gone through a presentation with them, all you're trying to do is to create curiosity. Your intent is to stimulate curiosity, not satisfy. You're not trying to get somebody so much information they don't need to take a look, okay? So when contacting your warm market leads with the possibility of partnering in business, emphasize big money and free time rather than specifics about the company or the products. I don't like to talk about the company or the products because nowadays with the internet, they'll be like, oh, let me do my own research. And they're not they're not going to be able to see the presentation for what it is, right? So I like to make sure that I don't talk about the company or the products. I'm like, man, I found a way to make a ton of money and we can have a lot of free time and I got to get together and show you what I got my hands on, right? So like you can do, I mean, if you're like all my friends just love K beauty, then I mean it's obviously a different situation. Then that's how you lead with the opportunity. But just get people to take a look at the information no matter what, right? When prospects object to your to an enthusiastic big money free time partnership, don't argue with them, simply file their name and call them every 6 months, right? That's literally what I do. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You guys all know that, right? That's from Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a classic, right? And remember the SW rule. Some will, some won't, so what? Because someone else is waiting, right? So you got to realize no matter what, just talk to people. That's it. And that's why it's so important. Like we talked about in the last chapter, if you got to be around for chapter 4, I'm going to give you guys the audio book at the end of this. Okay. So you guys are going to luck out. But what I want to tell you is this: don't let this moment in time slip through your fingertips. Okay. You want to realize now is the time to talk to people and you've got to stay fired up, right? We talked about in chapter 3, right? The depression torpedo, right? If somebody says yes or somebody says no, if they say yes, great. If they say no, great. It doesn't matter. I'm not excited if they say yes. I'm not excited if they say no. I'm excited that I'm talking to people. Like the excitement comes from the activity, not from the results. Because if you're doing the activity, the results are going to show up, right? We all know that, okay? Focus on your first 90 days on relationship marketing. That is reaching out to those closest to you, extend an invitation to create a partnership, okay? Intend to enhance the quality of your lives, right? It's like we can build this thing together and really make our lives a lot better, right? During the first year, devote almost all of your attention to prospecting. This is so important. I have so many people that I talk to that have been and I'm like, I'll look at their back office and I'm like, yo, you have only sponsored like one person this month, dude. Like your organization is going to do what you do. You got to lead by example, right? So during the first year, devote almost all of your time to prospecting, setting up appointments and presenting the opportunity until you reach your desired goal, and then teach your associates to be able to do the same. As your team grows, just tell them what you're doing. I just talked to so-and-so. I just talked to so-and-so. I just talked to so-and-so. People that talk to me all the time, I'm always talking about what I'm doing that's so exciting. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited about this. And if someone calls me complaining, they're just like, dude, this guy's just doing the right thing, right? It's like, that's what you want to realize, is that you want to set the pace, set the tone. When someone on your list says no, that is the time to ask them for names of 1 or 2 colleagues at work who might be interested in your opportunity. I've had some of my biggest recruits come from referrals. Biggest recruits come from referrals. Think about that. People that said no to me, but introduced me to somebody else. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Give me the names of at least 2 people that you know, right? That's what we, and then if you can learn to replace every no with just at least one new warm market referral, your warm market list is never going to run out, right? It's kind of a no-brainer. So that was very, very, very valuable information. I hope you really captured it. But now we're going to talk about the scatter bomb. And then I'm going to give you guys a special gift tonight. I'm giving everybody on the call special. You guys know how much I love this book, right? You guys all know how much I love this book. I have a stack of it right over here. I love this book. I got so many of it. I've got the Japanese version. You guys know I got the Japanese version, okay? I even have the Chinese version. I even have the Korean version. You guys already know I got the Spanish version. You guys, I even have the abridged version for people that are lazy. You know what I mean? Like the little bitty booklet, like the Cliff Notes. So I'm telling you, I'm going to give you guys the audio at the end of this book, okay? I mean, at the end of this training tonight, okay? So next weekend during Labor Day, what is it? Independence Weekend or whatever, July 4th weekend, you guys can do your own research or whatever if you have time. But I want to show you guys fending off the scatter bomb, okay? That's about staying focused amidst distraction. This is going to be valuable. The scatter bomb is a mental explosion that diffuses the focus of distributors, causing them to stop using the system that they've been taught and to frantically follow any or every new network marketing system or leader that comes along. When I got started in Remont, I just told Mr. Danny Bay, I said, Danny Bay, what is the system here at Remont? He said, we do pop-ups. I go, okay. I'm guessing that, you pop, just pop up quick in somebody's living room and pop up and show the products, right? He goes, yep, you guessed it. And he's like, get people to a presentation, have them do a pop-up, get them on an orientation. I said, dude, that's it. That's all I need to know. 1, 2, 3, that's it. Yep, that's it. I said, bam, it's on. That's all I'm going to do. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever this, I just, whatever the system is, I just duplicate it, right? That's all I got to do. Effective network marketing is a process of duplicating systems. Each time you change a system, everyone in your downline gets confused. Okay. Basic, keep it basic. Find a wrinkle, pop the product on their face, change your face, change your finances, guys. Use talk demo, use the product, talk about the product, demo the product. It's super simple. Okay. Network marketers can be handed everything on a silver platter and still fail if they refuse to duplicate a simple system that has already been tried and tested. Follow the system. It's just so simple. Novice distributors must be taught to follow the teachings of their sponsors and never deviate from it. You don't, you keep it so basic. You guys got to realize the last skincare company I built, right? We built $1 billion organization, over $1 billion in sales there, okay? When I sold that business, I still had 1 million active distributors. When I walked away from that company, here's what I'll tell you, okay? Here's what I'll tell you, is we were doing the same thing that I was doing, that we started off 15 or 16 years before that. Nothing changed, right? It was like, once you have a duplicatable thing, you just keep on doing it, okay? Distributors must be warned to put their blinders on, okay? Their first year, because it's the veritable smorgasbord of competing companies, recruiting system, videos, manuals, and numerous sales systems are available to them. When you get started, man, you're gonna have pop-ups on your phone, from Facebook. Oh, the secrets to network marketing, what your upline's not telling you. And it's like, learn how to become successful, not talking to your friends. And it's just like, none of these people have ever made any money. They're all booger pickers. Like, they're all network marketing booger pickers. Like, I'm like, you've never done anything. Like, why? What are they doing? But they're trying to sell tools, right? They're basically, they call them parasitic mentors in the book. That's what Mark calls them, okay? So you just got to realize, keep it simple. Successful network marketers build their businesses on their ability to shut out every negative influence around them, whether internal or external, even that internal dialogue, and stay the course with clear vision, focus intently on their goal and their plan of action. What is your plan of action? Find a wrinkle, find a face, put the product on the face. How many people's face did you put the product on? Let's go, right? One of the first manifestations of the scatter bomb will be the temptation to change just slightly the recruiting system you've learned by either softening the approach or lowering the income of the recruiting numbers. There'll always be people that just want to change. Some people like to change just because they like changing stuff. And it's like, whoa, all you got to do is just keep on keeping on. Like, that's what we did. And that's what I recommend people do. The way to prevent new distributors from attempting to reinvent the wheel is to anticipate it early and warn them during the training of the importance of following an proven plan of action. You guys got to keep hammering, following the proven plan of action. Follow the proven plan of action. Follow the proven system. It already works, right? Counter the threat in your first year network marketers. People will be offered other people are going to try to recruit network marketers. The first thing you do whenever you get started in network marketing is network marketing. You try to go recruit them from their deal. So there's other people that are going to be doing the same thing to your people. So you got to warn everybody there's going to be other Me Too companies popping up. I see it all the time. I see all these little Me Too companies. It's like, you guys, literally, these companies are a joke. Like, you look at the products and it literally looks like it was made for like 99-cent store. It's a mess. It's like, you're always going to have people in the industry that are going to try to go after your people. Yes, that's just the way it is, right? So you got to warn people about this fact. Number two is this: teach them the perseverance with one company is the key to success. You understand? Like, it's kind of like the old saying is, if you chase 2 rabbits, you end up with none, right? And I don't even know why we're chasing rabbits in the first place, but the key is to do one thing and perfect it. It's kind of like, you've heard, like, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Andrew Carnegie said, put all your eggs in one basket, but watch that basket very closely. That's bad. That's the key, right? So explain to them that trying to build 2 downlines in separate companies will always lead to failure. Everybody knows that. Most new distributors will be tempted several times to change companies, but remember, no single person in your organization is absolutely indispensable. That's the biggest thing about it. Nobody's indispensable, right? You might have somebody that you have in your organization might bill with you for a year, whatever, and then they might be gone, right? It doesn't. You understand? Like, that's just our industry of direct selling. My job is to do what? Always be building new lines of business. Always be building new lines of business. That's all I keep doing. I'm always developing a new director, a new project. Who's my new director I'm working on creating this month? Who's my new team leader I'm focused on developing this month? Who's the new person that I'm building right now this month? That's always the fact that you want to do in our business, okay? That's how you make the big money, right? As you continue to build your group, new leaders will emerge under those that choose to leave. You're going to always find new leaders under those people that are going to rise up. You just got to keep on keeping on. That you got to. What the key is you've got to focus in on just doing the right thing over and over and over again. Keep your group from jumping from one system to another by preparing them ahead of time to glean new facts from new speakers. Will never, but while never changing a new recruiting or training system. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like you'll have somebody else do it. Like I remember before, like you would have they'd be like, oh, there's trainings going on. And people are like, oh, let's go to this training. And then you have somebody that's like training something like completely different than what you train. It's like, dude, this does not help your business. It's like find a wrinkle, put some product on it. Dude, it's that simple. And then you have people like, well, let me explain to you how to do this. And you got to do this. And you got to, and they try to complicate it and confuse people. And then usually try to sell them some type of a system. The key is to dummy it down. Simplicity is the strategy. The strategy is simplicity. Find some skin, put some product on it. We're going to make money, right? That's it. Find skin, add product, make money. Like dummy it down, okay? The key to building a successful business is to stick to one system long enough to allow it to work. That's the biggest thing. Is and what makes it happen faster is the speed in which you do it. Right? It's like we're all on the same freeway, but there's different lanes. There's the fast lane, there's the middle lane, and then there's the slow lane. The slow lane is for people that want to make $500 a month. Then you got people that want to make $500 a week, and then you got people that want to make 500,000, 500,000 a month, and they're driving fast, right? But they're all doing the same thing. We're all in the same vehicle. It's just the rate in which we talk to people. I just talk to a lot more people, a lot more than everybody else. That's all it is. Like I literally do nonstop presentations, one after the other, bang, 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 all day long. Okay, all day long. So I'm just doing it at a rapid rate, right? I just do it at a rapid rate. That's why my income is bigger. But if I did less, my income would just be smaller. So if you look at your activity and you look at your calendar, it'll tell you how your heart is. Where's your heart? How much you care about other people? It'll be found in your calendar, right? Your calendar is going to tell you what your heart looks like. Ask a trusted upline associate for recommended readings, right? And don't lose your vision by following authors not recommended by your mentor. Somebody, if you were working with him, if your upline is telling you like books to read, I would read them, right? Don't be like, oh man, you know what? Like I'm going to try to do this one over here. And I'm talking about your first year in network marketing. That's really what you want to do. Okay. That's the magic, right? And 2 years in or whatever, like read whatever you want. But it's like, there's certain books like, John C. Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It's like a must read. It's like, I've never met a network marketer like, no, don't read that. Like that's the must. Okay. Scatterbomb fever. This is key. Scatterbomb fever can be caused by an announcement. So this is what he calls scatterbomb fever in the book. He says an announcement, often from a highly respected leader within your company, about a soon to be released product that they say is so unbelievable that everyone will soon be clamoring for it. Be skeptical of the claims until you tried the product yourself. Right? We did this with the makeup, man. We were like, number one is I don't really know much about makeup, so I can't tell you how good it is, right? But when we had the makeup coming out, it was like, man, I can just tell you this. I bet the makeup's going to be good, just knowing the way that these guys operate. But we're all excited to try it to find out. And it was like, once the makeup got released, everybody's like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. But you don't want to over promote it because you got to manage expectations. You never know what it is until you try it. So you always want to remember that you don't want to overhype something in the future because you have no idea how good it's going to be. You never want to over promote. Okay. You want to always manage expectations. You want people to be like, man, I can't wait to try the makeup and see if it's good. And then they fall in love with it. Right. That's the best way to do it. Right. When you and your associates occasionally fall victim to the scatterbomb fever, don't change your plan of action. Simply continue on your steady course while including mention of the exciting new addition in your presentation. Right. If everyone's like, oh my God, this makeup's going to change your life. And then it's not that good. We didn't have that problem. But if everybody was overhyping this, which we didn't do. And if they're like, oh my God, it's going to change your life. And then people are like, oh my God, this makeup's trash. You understand? Like that could affect it. So that's why we never over promote something until we know about it. Right. You never want to over promote until you know about it. Many distributors suffer from the lack of structure, particularly those who are accustomed to structure in traditional business. So if you have most businesses will have a structure. And whenever they get involved in network marketing, it's like, oh my God, I got all these new ideas, these new concepts of what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do that. It's like, dude, just go put some product on some people's face, man. It's not that hard. Okay. Keep it simple. Okay. If you have a problem organizing your time, use a planner or a scheduler to help you stay on track. That's so important. You understand? Like for me, it's like, If I don't do stuff right away, I'll forget to do it. Right? I have to just be like boom, boom, boom. Right? I have to like, yes, I got to do it. If I agree to do something, I have to write it down immediately. Right? If I agree to a presentation, right? Somebody called me before, like, hey, can you meet with this person at 11 a.m.? I'm like, I better write it down right now. Because if not, I'll forget. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not smart enough to remember anything unless I write it down on my schedule. Like every day, it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I got my schedule of every meeting that I have, meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And it's like, if I don't have a scheduler, I don't even know how to operate. Like, and then when you look at your schedule, you're like, oh my Lord, I only have 5 presentations today. I got to step it up. So you got to be organized, right? You're either organized or agonized. Okay. And then obviously make clear requests for your own, business and personal growth from a coach or an upline mentor. And in return, give honest feedback to your downline associates. Be mindful of their objectives. So it's super simple. You understand? Like if you ask your upline, you want to ask your upline or the person you're working with, your coach or mentor, what it is that you can do to get better, but also give honest feedback to your downline as well, right? You want to make sure you do that. And obviously, if you want to avoid being scattered and keep total clarity of vision, reevaluate how better to serve your team. That's literally it. It's how better to serve your team. The best way to serve your team is by example. I promise you that. If you want to learn how to lead, people always ask me, like, how do you lead? How I lead is by example. That's the only way you can lead, is to do what you ask other people to do. Do you want your people to sponsor new people? If the answer is yes, then guess what you do? You sponsor new people and then tell everybody what you're doing. Like, I'll listen to trainers and they'll be like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. It's like, that's not the deal. This is what I do. When I train somebody, it's like, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do all day. And that's how you inspire people, by telling them what you do, not what they need to do. Here's what I used to do when I was like really getting after it. This is what I used to do when my business was growing. Now I don't do it. My business isn't growing. It's like, dude, all you got to do is keep on leading from the front. Every month, it's like all about beating last month's production, right? That's literally all it's about in every category. As your team leader open, your senior manager open, your senior director open, your national director open, every position, you just want to outproduce yourself. Just stay ahead of what you did last month. And then when you break a leader, you got to work even harder to be able to just grab somebody else and blow them up. That's the fun part of this business, is always leading by example, right? The success in our business is commensurate with your enthusiasm, which in return is affected by our own personal lives. That's the biggest thing about it. Okay, that's the biggest thing about it. And he talks about this, about distractions. Here's the biggest thing: is you've got to stay excited. That's network marketing, because it's a transference of emotion. It's a transference of emotion. You understand? Like, you're transferring emotion to other people. And if I feel a certain way about the Riemann products, I love them so much, right? I love them so much. My wife kisses me with the lights on. You know what I mean? Dim, but you know what's up, right? I'm still using the products, but I'm hoping I'll get there. But it's like, I love that. Riemann did that for me, right? I love the products. So I can share my enthusiasm and passion, and makes people want to buy the products. I love the Riemann opportunity. I love it. I love every aspect of it. I love the compensation plan. I love the products. I love the leadership. I love the team. I love everything, right? I love that. And what I don't love about the company is I love those areas are going to get better, right? And I love the fact that other areas are getting better, right? So it's like, I fall in love with the opportunity. I'm all in, right? And when I'm all in and people can feel my conviction, they want to join me. How do I get people to work? How do I motivate my team? Is I just literally love to do meetings all day long. I love to talk about Riemann nonstop. I just love to talk to people about Riemann all day long. And I love to do that. And I share that with other people, and then they love to do the same thing. You understand? Like, it's super simple. Like, I'm all in. But there's going to be things in your life, right? Like, give you an example. I know football for me is starting on Monday, right? So I'm going to have a couple hours where I'm going to be on a football field. But when I'm there, I'm all in, right? When I'm coaching those little kids, I'm jacked out of my mind, right? Wherever I'm at, be there, right? Danny talked about that on the Wednesday call. Wherever you are, be there, right? But realize that you're going to have things you're going to have challenges in your life, right? And you got to realize if it's only when people can visualize it, it's only when people can visualize the end result that they're going to consider joining you in the business. So you got to be able to talk about the future. That's why people don't care where you are. They care where you're going, right? It doesn't matter. Somebody goes, once I start making the big money, Tim, everybody's going to join me. No, People are going to join you because they want to make the big money with you and they know that you're going, right? So here's the biggest thing is when you experience a personal crisis, you're going to have things that happen in your life. Don't be afraid to include it in your story to help break down the barriers during your presentation, right? You're going to go through issues. You're going to go through challenges in your personal life, things that are going to happen, right? There's going to be issues, right? There's going to be things happen. You can't avoid crises, right? You can't avoid crises, but you can prevent them from completely diverting your attention away from your intention, your intended objective by doing what, right? Using each one as a stepping stone to propel you to success. You're going to have issues. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have things that are going to happen to you, but you learn from them. You grow from them. Like I don't avoid challenges. I go right at them. Why? Because I know that when I come on the other side of a challenge, I'm going to be that much better for the next experience. When you go from point A to point B, you're going to be better from point B to point C if point A to point B was a challenge. Then you go from B to C, right? It might be from planner to senior manager, right? You had to go through some obstacles. Then senior manager to team leader, then team leader to director, then director to senior director to national director to whatever the next position is going to be. You just got to realize you're going to have challenges. But how you deal with those challenges, use them as stepping stones for you to be able to become successful. So here it is, you guys, the time you guys all been waiting for, right? Screenshot this right here, right now, or take a picture of it if you're sitting in front of your computer. This is the QR code to be able to access the audiobook. So you can download this and then it'll send you to a link. This will send you to a link where you'll be able to download the audiobooks. I would encourage you to do it on your computer at home or whatever. You know what I mean? Because then you can have it on your computer. But because I don't know how it works on your phone. Maybe on your phone too. I don't know anything. But we'll do whatever you want to do with that. But just make sure, I would encourage you to listen to I think it's like a 7-hour audio. When I listen to audiobooks, I can on my thing, I can put it on a little bit faster because you guys can tell that I speak pretty quick. I process information fast. So when I do audiobooks, I'll put it on like 1.5, depending on the cadence of the author, right? And sometimes I'll put on 2.0 if the author's cadence is a little slow because I process information quickly. And if it's real slow and methodical, I get lost, right? I got OCD or ADD or whatever the hell it is. They call it something. It's basically I'm just an idiot, right? So I need to be able to listen quickly, right? So you get that audio right there. Let's wrap this thing up here with a little call to action. We got 2 presentations going on right now before the end of the month, Saturday and Monday. Monday, we got Christy Belliston. Saturday, we got Chris Kim and myself. Make sure you get guests on there. If you want to win big, you got to get guests on there. I'm telling you right now, we're going to help you close this month out big time. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, bam, Chris Kim, Tim Herr. Monday night, Christy Belliston. It's going to be powerful. Qualify for the Recruit 3 promo. If you're not a team leader yet and you're a senior manager lower, try to wrap up that Qualify for 3 promo and get more money, right? Lots good, more is better, but too much is just right. Enter all volume before pay period deadline. You do not want to ever hold volume to the next month. I have people who are like, oh, I'm going to hold volume to the next month. It's like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, right? It's like, you never want to hold volume because your team's going to duplicate what you do. So there's going to be a point in time 6 months from now where you're running for director and someone's like, I'm going to hold volume. You're going to be like, oh my God. And they're going to be, oh, you taught me to do that because I learned from you. Like, you never want to hold volume. Like, that's just literally like basically, being just absolutely ridiculously stupid. Make sure everybody gets the travel set. That's a big one. Make sure everybody gets the travel sets. That's like, look, you guys know, like, this tool is beautiful. You guys know this tool is beautiful. This tool is even more beautiful. You guys see that? So make sure you guys get the travel sets. They're the best recruiting tools that we've got. Okay. And then obviously register for the roadmap event. Roadmap's going to be everything. We all know Las Vegas is going to be a no-brainer. Get everybody there. Monday, we got pay period deadline coming up. You want to make a decision in your mind right now. Make a decision in your heart that says, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to give it everything that I got. We've got people right now in the organization that haven't got their 1,000 SP yet. There has got to be a siren going off. A siren going off. And we got to be calling these people saying, I'm not going to let you get left behind. I'm not going to let you miss out on this money. We've got to make sure no matter what, that we get obviously your 1,000 and personal SP this month. We're not letting you lose out on this money. Like, that's the mindset right now that we've got to have, right? We've got people right now that are in the organization that haven't picked up their travel sets. They don't even have these yet. Like, oh my God, you got to make sure you get them, get everybody the travel set, right? You got to make sure that happens, whether it's 1 or like, 10 or whatever. Or like, my buddy who called me said, hey, can I get 10,000, right? Relax, okay? You know what I mean? I think you're probably Rodrigo's on the call, Mr. Champion over here. All I'm telling you guys right now is this. Don't let this window of opportunity slip through your fingertips. Make a commitment right now that says, I'm going to give it everything that I got. What would happen right now if you lit yourself on fire right now and you just ran between now and the Las Vegas event? Going into the September 6th and 7th Las Vegas event, that momentum that's going to be created is going to be by the decision that you make tonight to say, this is it. This is my time to make it happen. This is my time to step up. This is my time to get the job done. Over, under, or through, man, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to go all out massive action. Man, I'm going to get the job done. I'm not going to let this moment in time slip through my fingertips, man. I'm going to go all out massive action. I'm talking to everybody right now. I'm talking to everybody about the remount opportunity. What would happen if you lit yourself on fire? Woo! What would happen if you lit yourself on fire? Kelly, if you light yourself on fire, people will come from miles to watch you burn. Let's light ourselves on fire right now. Let's get fired up like we've never been fired up before. Let's open up our hearts and start sharing the remount opportunity right now like never before. And let's make up our mind right now that says, this is it. This is my time to do something great. This is my time to do something special. Over, under, or through, man, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to go to that next level, man. I'm going to that next rank. I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to find somebody on my team right now that doesn't have 1,000 SP, and bam, I'm going to make sure that I help them get unlock their unit level. I'm going to find somebody right now in my organization right now that's running for senior manager, and I'm going to help them wrap that up right now. People that are running for manager, let's get that done right now. I'm going to make sure that everybody rank advances right now on my team. I'm going all out massive action, man. I'm going to make it happen. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. We got to be thinking right now. I'm getting out of my comfort zone right now, talking to everybody about the remount opportunity, and I'm going to set forth the emotional momentum that's going to change my life, and I'm going to run full board, full tilt, all out massive action into that September event, man. And I'm going to be so fired up about the results that I'm going to achieve. So let's make it happen. Appreciate everybody's time tonight. God bless you guys. See you at the top. Let's make it happen, everybody. Man, I'm